هو من اللي عملناه 15
In school today? Wow, that's exciting. Yeah. 13 days old. Wow. You're most welcome here. Thank you. Yes, of course you can.
Wow. هذا اليوم الولد أول يوم راح ليش ما جبتيه؟
Did you get one? Want to get one? Did you get one of the?
I got one there.
ما صورتش بسرعة قولي له بسرعة.
Yeah, we were in the front. You were busy.
Keep it for next time.
I just didn't register because but I really wanted to.
Use that email at the top.
Pleasure. We made the sunny stops and then we were out to a family event, so I had a tour.
Nothing new for him, right?
Good deal. As long as you do everything she says, you'll be fine. I understand how this works. For me, it's just like at home. What do you do in your rest of your life?
I actually run the DMZ. You've been
Oh,
to the DMZ?
yes, I have indeed. That's right. You're absolutely right. Yes, that's right. I'd forgotten that.
Here in Waterloo as well. So I run the DMZ right now. So, but on the side, I do this one instead of looking at the board of directors. So
That's great. Well, I imagine you've got a number of new board members.
we just had an AGM right before the break. So
Oh, good. So that's why you have some new board members.
we're going to get up and running in the next couple of weeks.
Well, I mean, I think we want to do it in front of all these people, but you obviously used to provide a whole bunch of different support services for people in the community.
Oh, yes, we just.
Of all kinds. Yeah, Lifeline's probably a relatively new activity.
But it's been taking over our life.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it has. It really has been. Because many of the points that we saw, they were talking about and they're coming here to see the city. But all Lifeline here, we have a staff member, we have support but then we settlement, housing, it's difficult out there. We've broken the city down into places where they are served.
So while it's principally, I mean, focused on Syria because of the difficulty, you're doing it for sort of people of Arabic descent most of the time for in a much broader range of countries.
Well, not only that, but then we're also putting together presentations to the community members, sponsorship groups, where we talk about the Syrian cultures, the do's and the don'ts, and the myths, and what is it okay to shake a hand of a woman if I'm a male, all that cultural stuff. That's what we've been doing on town halls around the city of Toronto. We're going to Peterborough. We've been asked to come to Peterborough. We've been to Vancouver to talk about it. And so it's been a lot of work with it. But
Recent arrivals and others just coming to the community that are helping volunteers.
انتوا ويا نفس الوقت؟ نفس المبلغ بس different cases. كل واحد محامي لحاله. يا أحسن شيء في الإسلام I really want
Helping to help settle up. You notice the weather getting a bit colder? Anybody tell you that? Yeah. It's okay.
It's okay,
It
yeah.
hasn't been that bad.
Yeah.
Are you settling okay?
It's not too bad this year.
No, I can get used to it. How much?
With my family.
residents that are here today are mostly Syrians. We have some committed volunteers that are sitting here as well.
I'd love to do that, and I don't know. I mean, I guess some speak. At least their English is better than mine. But I'm, first of all, I'm just very pleased to be here, and very impressed, obviously, at the work that's being done here. Some of you have been the beneficiaries. Some of you have benefited from the work that's being done here. Others of you are helping to make sure that the people who come here and who will continue to come here are most welcome here and are, properly integrated into Toronto society. I was one of the people that, as the mayor spoke up very early, back in before the summer, about how we should be opening our community to refugees from Syria. And of course, it was not just because I saw what was going on in the rest of the world, because 35 years ago, I had the chance to go on a very unique trip, and I went from Toronto to Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, the Northwest Territories, and in each of those places in late 1979 saw the Vietnamese refugees arriving in Canada, very similar to the airport arrival ceremonies that we're having now. And I saw them, speak louder? I saw them.
They need some translation.
Okay, thank you. Oh, I should probably stop.
Dalia.
Our interpreter.
I'll speak in little Arabic.
Yeah, I'll do consecutive interpretations.
I had a chance to go to all those different Canadian cities and see, at the time, 35 years ago, Vietnamese refugees arriving in Canada.
كان عندي مجال اني اروح على مدن في كندا متعدده واشوف كل اللاجئين من فيتنام اللي اجوا قبل السبعينات.
And 35 years after that, I went to a big event in the Vietnamese community and saw how successful those people had been in our country, how they had done well because we welcomed them and they were contributing to the well-being of our country, creating jobs and things like that.
بعد 35 سنة حصل اني رحت على اجتماع بإحدى المؤسسات بالمجتمع الفيتنامي وشفت هدول الناس اللي اجوا وكيف قدروا يعملوا حياة لهم بكندا ويزدهروا هون.
And so it reminded me that this is the story of Canada. Almost everybody who lives here came from somewhere else. In fact, on the first night that I went to greet that first plane of refugees that came here, one of the refugees that got off the plane asked me how many of the people who live in Toronto came from somewhere else, and I said 50% of the people who live in this city were born outside the country.
وهذا الموضوع ذكرني انه هي قصة كندا. فلما رحت على المطار من فترة سألني حدا بمدينة تورونتو قد ايه عدد الناس اللي ساكنين فيها اللي مولودين خارج تورونتو، فقلت لهم انه 50% من الناس اللي بتورونتو انولدوا خارج تورونتو. معظم الناس اللي من كندا اللي بكندا أصلهم من خارج كندا.
And so all I can say is that, and I have been saying this in the media as the mayor over and over again, that I have absolutely no doubt that if we welcome those who have come here from Syria, they will be, in a number of years, not too long, just as successful as all the previous groups have been, because we welcome people, we help them, as this organization here is doing, and we make sure that we give them the tools they need to be successful in their own lives, and you will do that here because you can, and because you're people who want to do that, and want to do that for your children as well, and I just know it will happen, because you're good people, and we're good people here, and we will work together to make sure your lives are successful.
اللي بضلني احكي للناس انه انا ما عندي شك انه كل الناس اللي عم بيجوا من سوريا هلا احنا لازم نستقبلهم، لازم نساعدهم، لانه خلال كم من سنه رح نشوف انهم نجحوا هون وقدروا يعملوا حياه لهم، واحنا رح نعطيهم الدعم والمساعده انه يقدروا هذا، وهم كلهم ناس بدهم يعيشوا حياه كريمه وانه يزدهروا يصير يحققوا النجاح.
If I can take 1 minute to do a bit of what they would call in English cheerleading for Toronto. Toronto was named by The Economist magazine, which is British, as the best place in the whole world to live, the best city in the world to live. And we like to think it is, but we know you have to work hard to keep it that way. You're going to help make it even better, but we're going to make sure you understand in terms of how you're welcomed and all the opportunity you have here, why this is the best place in the world to live, even if it is a little bit cold in the winter.
بدي اخذ دقيقة احكي عن مدينة تورونتو امدح فيها. مجلة الايكونومست اللي ببريطانيا سمت تورونتو اكثر مدينة افضل مدينة للعيش، وبدي اكد لكم انه هي بوجودكم هذا رح يزيد، واحنا رح نساعدكم ورح نذكركم قد ايه ممكن كلنا مع بعض نخلي هاي المدينه منيحه حتى لو انه الشتاء بصير شوي برد.
So I'll just conclude by saying that we're lucky to have you here. You're most welcome here, those who have come. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you often as the mayor and making sure that we help you in any way that we can to make the lives of yourselves and your children absolutely 100% successful, so that you'll be glad you came here. And I know we're already glad that you're here.
بس بدي انهي حديثي باني اقول لكم انه انتم مرحب فيكم كلكم، وشكرا انه جيتوا، انه احنا بدنا نساعدكم، وانا كرئيس بلديه تورونتو برحب فيكم، بتمنى اشوفكم كثير واساعدكم باي طريقه ممكن.
Can I say something؟ بس نحن ممكن نطلب منه طلب انه انا بدي اجيب اولادي وعم بتعذب كثير، بدي اجيب اولادي، بدي كلكم تساعدوني اجيب اولادي.
She's asking to bring her family. That's what she needs help with.
Well, they can help here, and we will all help. That's what
I want to say that the Syrian people are very active and well-educated people, and we are very thankful and we appreciate your help for the Syrian people, and we will be an active part in this society, and I hope in the future we will be a very good part to do something good for Canada, and thank you for everything and for all your efforts. We are very thankful that we find at last peace here in Canada.
And
Thank
you
you.
will you have found peace here, and it will
Yes,
be peaceful.
thank you, and I wish that peace will cover all over the world,
Yes.
and that people love each other and deal with each other as we are all human beings, and we should be one hand to build this society.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you for Canada.
Yeah, thank you.
We have to keep it the way it is. You'll help us with that. You'll help.
So Mayor, my name is Al-Ramahi, Dr. Ramahi, and I have been here for quite a while, 5 years. And I see for the community is increasing, the number is increasing with hundreds of thousands, and it deserves more than this office. I mean, the hall is small for the community to have such small hall. So please try your best to increase the resources to change that to a bigger place, especially probably a ground house or a big house to have a recreation instead of Arab Community Center, Arab Community Recreation Center, to get the other people to work out, to see each other. And the second question, please just consider the number of seniors that have been here, increasing the community. And we have been doing our best, and in my volunteering activity in this center, just to get them together. We started 25 people as senior club, but after a while, just getting 3 or 4. The reason was either physical or financial or the winter. So could you assign a car? Probably would solve the problem. A car, just get them. You probably will get hundreds of them every week, every month, because they all suffer from stress and distress. Those seniors after 65 and 70s. So, and the third thing is, please, the rental apartment standards here in Canada, I mean in Toronto, is deteriorating. It's getting bad. So just to pay your attention to that. Yeah.
I'll just address those things. I'll do them one at a time. First, I'll deal with the last one. We try hard to keep the rental apartment standard as high as we can. And obviously, in part, it's a system that is based on complaints or inquiries that people make, so that we then send inspectors out and they order work to be done, and Councillor Holiday, and I should have acknowledged him earlier, he's here somewhere with me. He's the local city councillor here, and I'm sure he will help with this. But if we can help to enforce those standards, we will, because we want people to live in decent accommodations.
بالنسبة للنقطة الثالثة اللي بدي أبدأ فيها وأحكي إنه إحنا عم نحاول أقصى جهدنا إنه نخلي مستوى الشقق السكنية المتوفرة للأجار منيحة، وعادة إحنا بنشتغل لما يجينا شكاوي بنبعث مفتشين عشان يعملوا هذا. فهذا بده يحكي النائب هوليدي بهذا الموضوع يمكن اللي هو المسؤول عن المنطقة هاي، بس بس عم نحاول أقصى جهدنا نشتغل على هذا.
with respect to a community center, the experience we've had in Canada, given and in Toronto, given that half the people here were born somewhere else, is that as communities have been here a bit longer, as they get established, as I'll call it the Arabic community in the broadest sense, has been now getting much better established and growing, that it has been easier for us then to consider the matter of helping with the community center. The community itself, meaning the Arabic community, usually is the one, as they've done with the Filipino or the, any of these communities that have been here a bit longer, take the initiative, and we help them then maybe to find a place, and we sometimes can help financially. And so I think as this community is growing now quite rapidly, it is time that we had that kind of discussion, but it has happened with other communities as we would work with them to establish a place.
بصير إنه الجاليات اللي متواجدة بتورونتو لما تبدأ تكبر هم بيتجهوا للمدينة بيقولوا لهم إنه بدنا مساعدتكم إنه نلاقي محل أكبر، نلاقي موقع أكبر، وهم طبعاً على استعداد إنه يساعدوا بإنه يلاقوا محل أو حتى ممكن مادياً إذا سمحت الظروف، والمجتمع العربي عم بيكبر أكثر، فدفنتلي هذا إشي ممكن يتساعد فيه.
I think Mr. Mayor meant the number of businessmen and entrepreneurs here that they are well off participate in donation and build up the society recreation centers. I don't think they're doing anything for the community.
No, but that's the kind of job that I can help with. Because, for example, there was a very excellent dinner last year. What was it put on by the, and I saw there with my own eyes, and it's a great tribute to the Arabic community in Canada, in Toronto. Very successful business people. I know some of them. And my job can be to sort of get those people together and say, look, it's time that we had a community center, and you have to help take the leadership, because the government can't do all of this. And there are people who would be very committed to doing it. So I'm saying to you, I think it is time, because the community is growing, that we got those people together and said it's time to establish a place where people can go, as you said, seniors and others. Can I say one more thing, and then we'll...
Thank you.
I want to just say thank you to this organization, and I know you feel this way, but I want to say thank you as the mayor of Toronto on behalf of all of the people who live in the city for the work that's being done here by the staff and by the volunteers, because I've already met many volunteers this morning. This is another thing that you'll see Toronto and Canada are all about, is people deciding they're going to help other people who live here. We believe that you look after each other, and that the government does some of that, but a lot of volunteers do a lot of it as well in organizations like this. And just for me to come here, I've learned so much in the last hour about what's going on here and all the help that's being provided and all the volunteers who are involved. And it's just heartwarming, and I will talk about this all over the city and on the media, and as an example again of how we look after each other, and as a very positive example of how this community, because some people don't understand this community very well yet, and I have had a chance to get to know this community and know that it's an outstanding, caring, contributing, hardworking, smart, educated, you made reference to that, group of people who are going to be great citizens of Canada, and some already are. And so I just want to say thank you to this organization for all their hard work.
ممكن السؤال. We are very thankful that you have come in.
This is the counselor.
We're very thankful for you visiting our center. We are greatly thankful for you coming in and acknowledging the work that we do. This is something that the community needed to hear. Your presence here today has really meant a lot to the community. Meant a lot to.
بالنسبة للم الشمل أو العراقيين، يعني مثلا أنا أم هنا وبنتي بعيدة عني هي وأطفالها.
What can be done for the reunification of family members of Iraqi?
Well, that is a question of broader immigration policy, and so I guess I don't have an answer to that question, both because I'm not in the federal government, but also because I don't know that we've considered that yet. Canada has always placed a strong degree of importance on family reunification, and in fact, when I talk about all the people that have come here, many of them have come to reunify families, where one member of the family came first and the others came later. And I'm sure that as people get settled, they will be taking a look at that to try to make sure that the rest of your family, if that's what you're obviously concerned about, can come here as soon as possible and as soon as it's practical.
ما بقدر أنا أحكي بالنسبة لهذا السؤال تحديدا، لأنه أنا بشتغل بحكومة مدينة تورونتو، مو بالحكومة الفيدرالية، وهذا سؤال عام بمدينة لكندا. بس أنا بعرف إنه كندا دائما تهتم بانه تلم شمل العائلات، وانا متاكد انه لما يصير يعني يهدى الموضوع يصير في انه عائلاتهم رح يرجعوا يطلعوا على هذا الموضوع ويحطوا على يعملوا له اهميه.
شكرا.
There's a woman over there, right here.
I think Hannah wanted to.
I just want to ask, how can we help the newcomers who are staying at hotels at this time to find affordable houses? There's many houses, but they can't afford it.
One of the things we have done at the city, and I think it's just now getting set up, is a housing registry where we can get the landlords, and if it's not happening fast enough, you might let me know, because I can call the landlords into my office and say, look, you know, we need you to sign up. Some have themselves called in to say they want to help, but you know, I can help to make sure that starts to happen, because the idea was to have a registry where people like this organization could go and see, well, there's an apartment here, and you know, so on. So
can we, as a volunteer, we're willing to do the work. We're willing to
sure,
do the
and
calls
that might be very helpful, because that's the kind of thing that often happens is people call in, they keep lists, but nobody ever puts the list into a place where you can access it. So I will inquire about that when I get back this afternoon, because
began is that there are 22 Arab countries, and each one of us, and that's why Dalia is doing the interpretation, each one of us speaks Arabic with a completely different accent, and they have the same words but different meanings. And so Dalia is speaking in a language that is very near to the Syrian Arabic sort of thing, but then an Egyptian will speak something
different.
Yeah.
Well, and those who've heard people in Quebec speak French will know that the French people often don't understand much of that either.
When I speak French in Quebec, they don't understand me. So
Somebody, yes, ma'am.
أنا إجيت هون على كندا لجوء إنساني.
I came to Canada under humanitarian and compassionate.
لأنه قالوا لي كندا إن هون نلاقي الاستقرار والهدوء. أنا إلي 5 سنين ونص داخلة كندا. يعني إلي 3 شهور بس ماخذ البي آر، أولادي بعيدين عني، معنفين في الأردن، وحكيت يعني ما قدرتش أصل لحدا. أنا بنتي إلها 3 شهور أبوها طاردها من البيت وعايشة بسكن لوحدها. عمرها 19 سنة.
I've been a permanent resident for 3 months, and my children are now in Jordan, and they're being abused. And my daughter has been kicked out of the house by her father, and now she lives alone for the past 3 months.
She was here for
5 years.
Yeah, and she was here for 5 years.
5 years.
5 سنين ونص إلي من 2005.
Since 2005.
إلي 3 شهور ماخذة البي آر، بستنى في ولادي، لا قادرة أشوفهم، لا قادرة أطلع، لا قادرين يجوني.
She can't leave to visit her children. They can't come visit her, and she hasn't seen them.
والله العظيم أبوهم إنه مهتم فيهم، معنفين في الأردن، وإحنا بفكرونا هون مرتاحين.
Their father is not a good person. He's not good to them, and doesn't care about them, and they think we live here in a nice and easy life.
Well, the only thing I could say is perhaps the best person she might talk to is her member of parliament for this area, to see if there's some possibility, because she's now a permanent resident, that she could help to bring them here. I don't know all the law on that, but that's the best thing I would suggest she might do, and I think people here can help her to get in touch.
And I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'll add to that we can help her with
Yeah, that's what I say.
We have helped her. That's why I was just talking. We have helped her, and we know where the source of the problem is. Your file was sent to the wrong, was sent to the wrong country, and your file is being taken.
احنا اشتغلنا معك والملف تاعك
هلا السفاره الكنديه في الاردن لانه عندهم يعني ضغط كثير فبحاولوا طلبات على مصر. اوكي عشان
كيف هو بيقبل يعني
مشكلة مدام ممكن تجي بعدين